Just couldn't leave well enough fucking alone. Honest to God, I was just going to sit down and be in peace with a game I was going to play on my Xbox. As you can tell, my controller's still on because I was about to jump into a game. And I thought, you know, while the game loads up, I'm going to load up my IGN feed, check out the latest news about what's going on. And lo and behold, this story pops up, and as hard as I tried to ignore it, I said to myself, okay, maybe I'll record a little something with the microphone only, just as a little quick thing to post on YouTube to just talk about, because I feel the urge coming on. But the more I thought about it, the more I wanted to get on camera to address this, because Nintendo continues to demonstrate that they hate money. And I don't think I can encapsulate my feelings for Nintendo more than I did in my Facebook post. So in case the title of this video or any of the articles you have seen up until this point haven't pointed it out, Nintendo has discontinued the production for the NES Classic. So their response to people complaining that there aren't enough quantities of the NES Classic being released to retailers, their answer is to not have any quantities to be released at all. What the fuck? Who the fuck does these kind of decisions over at Nintendo? I can't really tell who to throw blame at this point, Nintendo America or Nintendo Japan, because they could have easily made a shit ton of money, maybe had a second wind under their sails for Christmas sales later this year to kind of revamp it up, but now they're discontinuing it. Here's the deal, because that's mostly a rhetorical question. I can kind of have an idea as to why it is that they're discontinuing it. The main reason is because they're trying to push the Switch. They're noticing that maybe sales for the Switch are starting to falter, so they're like, okay, we gotta discontinue this. If you want that classic feel of playing an authentic Nintendo game, especially with a massive behemoth of a game like Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild out there, you need to buy that Switch so you can play it anywhere that you would like. Just like the NES Classic is kind of portable in a way. I mean, you can't really play it on the go, but it's small enough to fit in your pocket and take the HDMI cable with you and go to a friend's house or some other place, plug it in, and then be able to play it. In fact, when this game was about to come out, prior to its release, my intentions were to buy it and to take it to school and plug it into the TV that we have in the lobby, because you can do that. They allow people to just chill there. And most of those classmates that I had, they were humongous fans of Nintendo, because we're all nerds. We're all collective nerds. We love to play video games. And an awful lot of them knew about the NES Classic. So my intention was to buy this thing, go to school, plug it in, and just immediately play, which is the whole conceit behind the NES Classic. But now I will never be able to do this. Never, never, ever, ever, because you will find me fucking dead trying to buy this thing for over the intended price of $60. Because when I was scrolling through IGN's article, I went all the way down and they had the audacity to put a little advert right there at the bottom saying, hey, you want to buy the NES Classic? It's available now for $120 or $150, something like that. I'm like, go fuck yourself, alright? And I know that in my last video where I was talking about the NES Classic and how I was kind of giving up hope of ever finding one, that was still true. In fact, up until this point, up until I saw this article, I almost forgot about the NES Classic. I was like, okay, the Switch is here. Maybe they'll have a second go around later on, especially when we push towards the holiday season. Maybe they'll do at least one last round and then kind of announce ahead of time and have a proper sense of preparation for the intended quantities that they want to give out there. Like, this is going to be the last bit of units that are going to be shipped to retailers, but there's going to be enough. There's like double the size, and even though this is the last bit, there's going to be an intention to make sure that everyone that ever wanted one will get one for the $60, you know, ahead of time. You have enough time to prepare, whether it be money wise or time wise, or be able to get yourself some kind of pre-order at your nearest retailer. I was hoping that maybe Nintendo will have that, some kind of trick up their sleeve, but just to come forward and be like, no, we're just done with it. Guys, come on. We're trying to support you, but the fact that you keep doing this kind of shit, not only with the NES Classic, but so many other items that they try to release limited quantities of just to boost up that scarcity and to boost up the feeling of wanting to own this thing. Because I understand that there's emulators out there. I understand that there's ways to play these classic games through your computer. And as much as I want to support that, and who knows, maybe I have enough free time now that I'm taking some time off of school, maybe I'll jump into some kind of emulator and be able to enjoy games that way. But I will admit, it's a little difficult to rearrange my brain from going from taking a game that I used to play like this now to like this on my computer, because these are classic games and I remember pouring dozens of hours into them, playing it like this. So it's a little bit of a weird, jarring type of thing that happens in my brain. But I'll go through with it if it means taking this over Nintendo, because you guys, come on, stop fucking around with us. stop it! They've done this with amiibos. They've done this with certain collector's editions of various consoles from the N64 to the GameCube. And Lord only knows if they're gonna pull some kind of shit like that with the Switch. I don't know in what kind of capacity. Honestly, if I had to make a prediction, it would be that Pro Controller. I honestly, I don't know what it is, but I just get the feeling that maybe later on down the line, not anytime soon, but in a year or two, they'll be like, okay, no more Pro Controllers. Now you have to settle for the Joy-Con. Otherwise, tough luck. You know, better buy yours very, very soon, because I still have been holding on to my word, guys. I have not bought a Switch. I haven't bought one yet, and as much as I would love to play Zelda and pour many, many hours into that, it's just one game, and it just doesn't warrant the $400 price tag, because I know it's $300, but then you add the Pro Controller, because I really do want the Pro Controller over the Joy-Con, but also Zelda thrown in there, you're talking $400 plus $400 for tax and all things accounted for. And it's just too much just to play one game. And I'm starting to believe that my other predictions that I made in my last video, where I was talking about the bundles coming soon and why I canceled my pre-order, are starting to come true. Because after the most recent the Nintendo Direct, they said, oh yeah, there's going to be a Mario Kart bundle. Here it comes. Even though Mario Kart is not enough for me to sell me on a console, it still gives me hope that later down the line we'll find ourselves, especially during holiday season, we'll find a bundle that has Super Mario Odyssey or maybe even a Legend of Zelda, and that's when I'll go ahead and put in the money and maybe get myself a bundle that comes with a discounted version of Zelda, like for $28 extra, $20-30 extra, you get Zelda, you get an added accessory, something like that. That'll be awesome. And hey, hell, maybe if I'm motivated enough, I will go ahead and buy a secondary game for it, another either Mario Kart or Super Mario Odyssey or whatever game I didn't manage to buy, and boom, the Switch will be under my ownership. But I'm at a loss for words. I wish I could cut this out of editing because I'm starting too much, but at the same time, I'm using it to demonstrate just how baffling it is. How Nintendo strategizes their marketing team and their sales team to make decisions like this, where you guys don't want our money? Because my $60, the $59.99 that you were so advertising, could have easily been yours if you had just been more confident about your product, because this thing fucking sold. Why do you want to hold it from people? Because you want it to make it a unique collector's item, but it just doesn't work right here, because you're simply just selling an emulator that's encased in this. Because this is the main reason, let's just be clear, this is the main reason why we were willing to buy it. It's because it looks like that original console. We have emulators. We could play these games on our own for free because we're fucking nerds, alright? We're able to torrent this shit. We're able to find loopholes. We're able to mod games. The main reason why we wanted to give you guys the $60 is just for a plastic shell that looks like that original console that will take us down memory lane. We were willing to go down that memory lane at the expense of giving you guys our cold hard cash, and you denied us that. Why? Because you made poor strategy choices in your marketing, and it just doesn't pan out this way, okay? And if you continue to do that shit with the Switch will henceforth die just as quickly as the NES Classic did. And I'm truly scared, because I'm still very intrigued by the notion to be able to take the Switch wherever I go and be able to play that. I wish I could do that with other consoles like the Xbox One and PlayStation 4, because there's so many instances where I wish I could be playing a game, but I'm away. But hey, if Nintendo has been able to do this, and it's one of the things that people love about the Switch, other consoles will follow suit. In fact, I think some time ago, Sony themselves put forward a patent to be able to do some kind of similar thing where they can take a console that can then be transformed into a handheld and just take it on the go with you and play PlayStation exclusive games like God of War or whatever on the go. So you better watch your back, Nintendo. This is a advisory for you guys, because I love you. But at the same time, y'all can go fuck yourselves, just like I said in my Facebook post, for this shit. Because I don't want to see this again happen at some point or another with the Switch. Because I want to support the Switch, but there's still plenty of time for me to make that turnaround and just call for a divorce from Nintendo. Because I want to go back to those memories of our beautiful marriage at the beginning, where I would want to come home and play the next Zelda game that I was on the N64, or even on the GameCube, like Wind Waker or Twilight Princess, which I never got to play. I would still very much love to play that on the Switch through some kind of virtual console type of thing, which you still haven't put, as far as I can tell, on the Switch. But oh man, it really is kind of like a bittersweet divorce that I'm trying to go through. But I'm hoping that later down the path, there's going to be some glimmer of reconciliation. Okay. I'm done. So, it's time for me to shut up, and it's time for you to speak up. Please let me know in the comments, what are you guys' thoughts on Nintendo's decision to discontinue the NES Classic Edition? I knew, somewhere deep down, I knew that it was a long time coming. But again, like I said earlier, I was hoping that maybe they had one last breath to kind of have this thing go out with a bang in the form of a large-scale assault towards the retailers. Like, hey, here's our last batch, sell it well and sell it proud, and maybe they can make some good money while at the same time giving us at least one more opportunity to get the console at the intended price of $60 and not go to scalpers for it. But it looks like that's not happening, and if Nintendo continues down this path, it's a path of self-destruction. Do you guys agree? Let me know in the comments. Do you think that there's a bright future for Nintendo in the form of the Switch, or do you think that it's just a matter of time before the San Andreas Fault, known as Nintendo, just breaks apart and drifts away into the sea? Also, if you guys liked me freaking out on this video with my very scruffy hair, because I just didn't really give a flying fuck, please let me know by hitting the like button below. It would really appreciate the video. I would really appreciate it. And of course, if you guys want others to watch me freak out, then hit that share button to spread the good world of some kind. And if you guys enjoyed it, then be on the lookout for some more freak out videos should other video game companies continue to fuck up this way, and you can do so by hitting the subscribe button down below. And also make sure to follow me on Instagram and on Twitter by typing in the handle @DarkSpiderDavid to book in my brain for some more subversive thoughts that I have here and there. Until next time, guys, take care. It was a pleasure to do this rant. But before I sign off, just one final message to Nintendo. Don't fuck this up.